Okay, so we're in the AutoFxK settings page, and this is the page which has all the information required for AutoFxK to properly interact with your MetaTrader platform as well as with Forex Killer. Now, the first section that you notice over here is basically meant for you to go ahead and list out the charts exactly the same way that it's listed in your MetaTrader platform. Now, depending on which Forex broker you go ahead and download the MetaTrader platform from, different brokers will have charts listed in different orders. So, like say for example, if you were to go into IBFX, here if you take a look at the way that the charts are listed by clicking on the new chart symbol, you'll notice that you have Euro USD followed by USD JPY, whereas if you get into Alpari and click the new chart button, you notice that the order is completely different. Now, just for the sake of the example, I'm going to go ahead and set up AutoFxK based on the Alpari order over here. So let's just go ahead and quickly get that done. First it'll be USD CHF followed by GBP. Then of course it was the USD JPY and the Euro followed by AUD and then USD CAD. Alright, great. So we have it listed out here exactly the same way that you would find it listed in your MetaTrader program. Now, just because you have them listed out doesn't mean that you have to trade all of them. Whichever is the chart that or the currency pair that you do want to trade, just make sure you check only those here at the side on the left hand side. You can skip whichever you want. Okay, and of course once you're done checking the charts that you do want to trade on, please make sure that you go ahead and select the appropriate time frames as well. For this one, I'll just leave it at M5, which is the 5-minute frame. For this one, let's go ahead and just simply try out the 30-minute frame. Okay, you have a whole lot of choice here, and the way that you go ahead and set this up is basically gonna determine how AutoFxK places the trades on your MetaTrader program. So please make sure you take care of this section properly. Okay, now on the right hand side you'll notice that you have something called the mouse click offset section. This is something that basically controls how AutoFxK moves the mouse. Now, like I said, AutoFxK is a Windows macro and it runs based on certain keyboard shortcuts, which I will share with you shortly. Once you go ahead and activate a certain keyboard shortcut, based on the operation or function that it calls, AutoFxK will temporarily take control of your mouse and actually move the mouse cursor around the screen in order to get certain things done. Now, in case the mouse cursor doesn't reach its intended destination, that's where you'll have to use the mouse click offset in order to either push up the mouse. Let's say if you need to go ahead and reach a certain button which it isn't reaching properly, you could go ahead and push this up. That will be the Y offset. And of course you have the X offset to basically push the mouse either to the left or to the right. And over here at the bottom you have an additional Y offset for Forex Killer versions 4 and above. In case you're using Forex Killer version 4, just leave this at -25. It works perfectly fine that way. If you're using Forex Killer 3, then please change this to 0. Okay? Version 3 or below, please change this to 0. Alright, you will understand the mouse click offset section much better after I show you the test shortcuts. So let's just quickly move into the order section. This entire section is dedicated to the information that AutoFxK requires to place your orders, the number of orders per chart. Now I've gone ahead and I've selected two charts here, or two currency pairs. So if I select one order per chart, that means AutoFxK will do a maximum of one order for USD CHF and then one order for USD JPY. You can go ahead and select more charts if you wish, but at all times AutoFxK will determine the maximum number of orders based on these two parameters here. You have the choice to go ahead and increase this to 2 orders per chart if you wish, but just for the sake of testing, I'd recommend that you leave this at 1 order per chart initially. Alright, so moving on to the total maximum orders, including all the orders placed on all charts, you can cap that at a maximum of say 5 to whatever number. It goes all the way up to 50, but like I said, for the purpose of testing, it's best to leave it at the default value of 5. And of course here at the side you have lots per order. You could go ahead and try this out with 1 lot initially, although again, for the purpose of testing, if you wish, you could go ahead and change that to 0.1, which also works perfectly fine. Your choice there. Now, while we're going ahead and testing out AutoFxK, please make sure that you test this out on a demo account first. Once you're comfortable with the way that AutoFxK operates, then you can go ahead and try this out on a live account. But until then, please, please, please use this on a demo account. Okay? Alright. Coming to the last part of the order section, you have the order type, which will basically determine if the order is to be placed immediately or if it's to be placed as a limit order, also known as a pending order. Now here, coming down to this section over here, it's absolutely imperative that you type in the account number of the demo account or the live account that you wish AutoFxK to operate on. Now, for you to figure that out, all you have to do is take a look at the top left hand side of your MetaTrader program and you'll notice the account number there. Just go ahead and make sure you type out exactly the same number. Now this is advantageous because it means that even if you have 2 or 3 MetaTrader programs opened up simultaneously, AutoFxK will only pull up the window which has this account number and no other window. So that's a good thing. Now, what you have to understand about AutoFxK is that once you've selected these charts that you want AutoFxK to place trades on, AutoFxK will run through a loop wherein it'll constantly test to see if there is a profitable signal or not. Of course, based on Forex Killer's recommendations. Once it's done with an entire loop, it'll wait for a couple of minutes, and that's something that's determined by this particular parameter over here. It'll wait for, the default value is 2 minutes, so it'll wait for 2 minutes before it repeats the entire loop all over again. Now if you're the type who would rather have AutoFxK do this continuously, then you can change that to just half a minute or 1 minute. Or if you'd rather have AutoFxK do that, repeat the loop after, say 10 minutes or 20 minutes, that's up to you. You could go ahead and change that value as well. Now this parameter over here, this basically determines the delay between each action that AutoFxK takes. If you have a fast processor, which is like at least 1.5 gigahertz or above, then you can leave this at 100 milliseconds because that's more than enough. If you feel that your computer is gonna operate a little slowly, then you can change that to either 150 or 200 milliseconds. Well, just for the sake of testing this out, I'll go ahead and change that to 150 milliseconds. And this last box over here is basically where you would have to go ahead and type in the temporary folder that AutoFxK would use in order to extract and save information that it requires. Initially, when you run this, AutoFxK will automatically determine the path, but if you want to go ahead and change this folder to some other folder that you have in mind, then you'll have to manually type out the entire path over here. Okay, so now that we've gone ahead and set up AutoFxK, please make sure that you go ahead and click the Save and Close button. Otherwise, all of these settings that you've gone ahead and entered will be lost if you just simply click the X over here, which is the same thing as canceling everything. So please make sure that you hit Save and Close. And that's that.